All righty. Captain's been barking at me, so got to get through this pretty quickly. Um, this is the playoff preview. First of all, we got the Sacco race. Koob is not in the Sacco race. Arush is not in the Sacco race because there's only six possible victory points out there over the next 3 weeks. Troy, Mark, Alvin, and myself are. Alvin has a two victory point lead on me, Mark three, and Troy four. Everybody in the Sacco race, set your lineup. Don't try to affect who's going to be or who's not going to be the Sacco by benching people or trying to get victory points. If you're Cooper, Eric, just set your best lineup for the week and forget about it. If you get someone injured, just sub in your next best person, um, just so that the correct Sacco is determined. Top scores out of these six will earn 2 points each week. Middle score is one, and then if you're one of the bottom two scores out of these six, you get a zero. So, definitely potential for some swings. Obviously, I am the heavy favorite um, to be the Sacco, but a 2-0 week or something in there, and things get interesting. Now, my predictions for the playoffs. I was looking at it, and the playoff teams in this league kind of suck. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really impressed. I'm looking at Sam's team. Are we actually starting Zach Charbonnet or Sincere McCormick in the playoffs? I guess that's what we're doing because I guess Pickens is hurt for him. Nothing scary about this team. Really, I think the only way this team advances is if Hurts rushes in three touchdowns or throws two touchdowns to Devontae Smith. Tough matchup against the Steelers for the first round of the playoffs for Sam. He can't be happy about that. Um, I don't think he's advancing. Ty's team's been hot. He's literally just been riding off of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase combining for 90 points every week. So um, I don't know. I had mixed feelings about Ty's team. He's got Debo going tonight. That'll be interesting. When I look at this team too, I'm like, could this team win a championship? Um, I just feel like the Burrow Chase thing, 1 week of the playoffs, because playoffs are 3 weeks long, Chase won't catch a touchdown. And then Ty's team will be dead, I feel like. So I don't like either of these teams. I go to the other side. Um, Chuck starting Aaron Rodgers is something in the playoffs, but the rest of his team is solid. He's got Tracy coming off the bench. Um, Gibbs. I mean, some good matchups in here. A lot of green on Chuck's matchup meters there. And I also like John's team. Bijan Daniels are on the up. He's got Cup tonight. Mark Andrews has been better. He's got Jennings tonight. So big night for John's team. I think Chuck and John might be our two advancers out of round one of the playoffs here. In the next round, I think it might be really boring, unfortunately. Now, it would be a big hit to Shelvin's team if Brees can't go, because then he winds up starting in like Christian Watson or someone, which isn't the worst fill-in. But I'd have to look at the matchups for next week for his guys, but I feel like most of these guys have good matchups, except for maybe Lamar, who goes against Pittsburgh. Um, yeah, a lot of him's going to come down to Brees Hall. If I don't know, if someone's team, if one of these two teams stays hot, I can see them putting up more points than Shelvin. Um, Jake's team, it's good. I can't say this team's going to get eliminated. Who are the Eagles going to be against? I'm just checking some of his key matchups. Washington. Um, I mean, this is tough. I'm gonna have to revisit. It's hard for me to pick a champion right now. My heart wants to say Shelbin, but I think my head says Jake just because Mike Evans has been really good. I think Wilson's coming on strong to end the year. I think AJ's gonna have a blow up week. Maybe two of these next 3 weeks will be blow up weeks for him. And the fact that Jake gets the bye, which is maybe the toughest week versus Pitt. I mean, AJ Brown could have 100 yards and two touchdowns these last 2 weeks of the year. Um, yeah, my pick is I don't really care who advances out of the next round because I think our two bye teams are the two best teams in the league, and I think they will meet in the championship. I'll revisit then, just based on matchups, who I think is going to win. Obviously, sleeper just based on the point projections thinks Jake's team's going to win. Um, Jake's team better stay healthy because I don't know if he has anyone off the bench. But I mean, this team really is. But I mean, I guess he lost Rushy Rice earlier in the year. I was going to say this team's a model of health. He did lose Rushy, but the fact that Evans came back from that hamstring stronger than ever. I mean, he's got everybody in his lineup right now. He's just hoping for no injuries this week because it looks strong for him. Those are my projections. Luckily, I was able to edit the playoff bracket, so I think I'll be able to even edit scores and make sure the two correct teams advance after this round. I don't know exactly how it's going to work if we get two players from the same side, but I'm going to try to make the app reflect as closely as possible, at least reflect the correct champion upcoming for this year. So. Alrighty, boys. Those are the projections, and that is the Sacco race. Set your lineups, even if you are on a bye, or even if you, well, I guess not if you're on a bye, but even if you're technically out of the Sacco running, still set your lineup for us. And we will see everyone this time next week.